These are the fundamentals or principles of the V-arm lock, also referred to as a bent arm lock, a key lock, Americana Armlock. We're going to take it and show it from cross-body position. So number one, the hand position, the hand grip. First of all, you want to have like a pinky wrist grip. So instead of having it just on his wrist, you're going to take the thumb and the pointer finger will be like on his wrist, and the last three fingers will be on more of the pinky fat. And I like to put all 5 fingers over. Some people will grab with the thumb on the other side. I like all 5 fingers over. By having a control of that pinky, it makes it harder for him to muscle out of the technique, or out of the grip. Sometimes when you have it on the wrist, he can extend his hand out a little bit easier. If you have it on the pinky and wrist, it's harder for him to extend that arm. So we're going to go pinky wrist grip. With the opposite hand, it's going to be a figure 4. This is your key lock. The bent arm lock refers to, obviously, with the bent arm. So with the figure 4 grip, we're going to go through the crest of his elbow, and then you're going to go hand on hand. So when you go through the arm into your hand, you don't want to go to the wrist, because you can see how much space is between my arm and his arm. So we're going to go hand on hand, so there's no space between my arm and his arm. Okay? The motion of this technique, his arm's going to come from this angle right up into his hip socket. So it's like a 30-degree angle from the floor, or the mat, or the canvas, into his hip bone. So it's going to be arm insert through, hand over hand, so there's no space. You have the pinky wrist grip. When you put this submission on from crossbody, you want your hips down, and you want your body weight and body on his hips. If I try to put this submission on from this position, he just hips up. And that either slows down the submission or you won't get it at all. So we want to put our body down on his hips so we can't hip up. So again, the trajectory of his arm is going to go from the mat into his hip socket. Okay? What you're going to do with your head, you want to keep it real tight and compact. Especially when you're on top in any kind of wrestling, you want to allow no space. In this particular submission, you want to put your ear to his elbow looking away from his head. This will make it nice and tight, and then you can put it at that 30-degree angle up into his hip bone. So again, wrist grip and pinky, all 5 fingers over is how I like to do it. Your elbow will be tight to his neck. Arm will insert with that, it's kind of the key lock, figure 4 grip, hand over hand so there's no space. Hips down on his hips, ear to his elbow, and up at a 30-degree angle into his hip socket. Again, this is a V-arm lock, hammer lock Americana, or it's also referred to as a key lock or bent arm lock. This is from a cross-body position. You can actually take this submission from multiple other body positions.